Namaste and welcome to this digital exclusive here on the News18 network. And with me is popular superstar or film star Pranitha Subhash. Pranitha, pleasure speaking to you.
Lovely being here
And
as well, Anand.
I'm given to understand that you have a very, very strong point of view about a lot of things that are happening around us. So you're not somebody who's worried about speaking her mind or thinks twice about it or very strong about your beliefs. So I'm hoping that you would give me some straightforward answers to some of the queries that I'm going to put forth today. I'm looking forward to this interaction.
Looking forward to it as well.
Have I made you a little nervous right at the top?
No, but this is definitely my first interview regarding things that are not films because usually it's about films and movies, stereotypical questions. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, so let me start with what is currently becoming once again the punching bag for everyone. This entire term called Hindutva. So,
Right.
what is being a Hindu or Hindutva for you?
I think as a civilization, we all have been brought up with believing in our culture, in our religion, and it's something that has been passed on from grandparents to parents and parents to us. So it's really not something that I expected to be an issue today because as a child, we were taught to wake up and pray to God. This is how you go about your day. This is what we have been taught in the scriptures, and this is what you have to follow. And today, isn't it really strange that all you do is, hey, happy Diwali. Did you all burst crackers? Was it fun? And boom, you're like, you're being perceived as a fundamentalist or a majoritarian, or you're trying to spread some sort of message. And I just found it so offensive that just promoting or just wishing everyone what I would do on my family WhatsApp chat, if I did that on Twitter, I'm being perceived as so many different things. So it's quite surprising.
But what does Hindutva mean to you, if I may ask you? What does being an Indian, being a Hindu, when I say Hindu not as a faith, but as somebody who has roots to this land, let's define that concept. What does it mean to you? And today, there are those who want to dismantle global Hindutva. Those who are saying
Right.
Hindutva is to BJP and RSS, and their brand of Hindutva is different. International media is calling us Hindu nationalists. So,
Right.
how do you react to all that?
So, first of all, I think it's really appalling that the left is trying to project that Hindutva and Hinduism are two different things, and how we are trying to bring about something for our own vested interest or something like that, which is completely absurd because all we're trying to do here is just practice our religion, and the constitution gives you the freedom to believe in your religion, and that's such a personal affair. And for someone to point out just a celebration of a festival or just your belief, someone to point fingers at your belief is itself extremely offensive. And on top of which, what I see that's going on Twitter or even the rest of the world, where they're trying to bring in words like Hindu terror and trying to negativize all this. But the point of all this and how and why it came into play was to bring about positivity. And I believe that Hinduism, the Sanatana Dharma, is the most positive, the most harmonious dharma out there. So I really find it very offensive that people want to try and dismantle it and try and negativize this whole concept.
No, I was having a conversation with author and also lawyer J. Sai Deepak, and Sai Deepak was like that Hinduism is the object of protection, and Hindutva is the medium of protection. So that's how they're interlinked. And today we have leaders who are saying Hindutva is equal to, or perhaps the way Hindutva is being projected today by certain outfits like the RSS or the BJP, or how they propagate Hindutva, is equal to the radical political interpretation of ISIS and Boko Haram. Today we have leaders who are saying Hinduism is not about beating people, so Hinduism and Hindutva are different. So is being a Hindu means you have to be apologetic, you can't defend yourself, you can't propagate and talk about yourself and be proud about who you are.
Isn't it strange that there's no other there's no other person from any other religion who hides their identity or wants to shadow their identity, versus how all we're doing is just talking about our identity. And I don't understand what is wrong in talking about your roots, or this is something I would have done even if I was not on camera. And the thing is, being an actor, that's what you're being looked at as, trying to promote a cause, versus all you're doing is living your life.
But as actors, being a public figure with millions of followers on social media, are you a little nervous about coming out there and saying what you feel and speaking your mind? Because you're not allowed to do that if you're a Hindu and if you're talking
How
up.
strange is it? How strange is it that whenever I voice out something where it's slightly where I'm promoting it or trying to defend something about Sanatana Dharma, it's really strange that I get comments that, oh, you're jeopardizing your own career because you know how many liberals are there in the film industry. But I don't I think it comes at a cost, and I'm okay with it, because the film industry also has equal number of uh, right wingers who completely believe in Sanatana Dharma and its lifestyle and everything.
No, but the very fact that if you're a liberal is that you should be open to views. Isn't that a kind of a paradox that those who claim to be liberal are unaccepting of your point of view?
Absolutely. It's such a paradox that the same actors who say that being liberal is being accepting of everything now call Sanatana Dharma as intolerant. And how did that happen? Because we are the most harmonious, tolerant religion, tolerant country that is ever possible. And for someone to point out all that is really strange.
True, but how would you define? Like I was talking to Uday Mahurkar the other day, the Central Information Commissioner. He's written a book on Savarkar, and he says the interpretation of Hindutva or the term itself talks about unalloyed nationalism. That means, irrespective of your caste, creed, religion, you rise above all that, and your only identity is your nation, which is Bharata.
Right.
So, do you identify and do you agree with such a definition?
Today I think that even being nationalist is being seen as pro BJP, which I don't know where that came from. Loving your country is such a basic thing that I would teach my kids, I would teach everyone, because the first thing that you love is your dharma and your country as much as your family. And for someone to call that as you're taking sides is, these are things that I'm just, honestly, these were things that I did not know, the reactions that I would receive. It's only because I'm an actor, and the reactions that I'm receiving, it's really quite, I'm quite taken aback at the moment. I think as I go, we'll really learn about how, the population thinks and things like that.
But you must have also got support. There must have been people who would have been pleasantly
Absolutely.
surprised that somebody is speaking out, somebody is saying how it is.
Yeah, would you believe that a simple tweet where I say, "Hey, did you all celebrate the Diwali? Did you all burst crackers? Did you have fun?" And they go like, "Oh my God, my Sherni is here, the Hindu Sherni," and I'm like, "All I did was wish you all. I mean, I'm glad that that you all think that's what it is." But hyping up someone for just identifying themselves with their basic culture, it's quite, yeah. Like I said, it's funny.
Well, how do you see this entire binary or political narrative, which is built around this whole concept? There are two, three aspects. What people would believe and espouse that we as a nation are an inclusive nation. And the Hindu ethos, when we talk about, is that you practice your faith, personal faith, in the confines of your household. Don't impose your thoughts on anybody else, and accept everybody. But we as a nation must always remember that this is our identity, these are our roots. Would you identify with that definition? Or today, where it has become that if you support the BJP, if you believe and agree with the RSS, that means you are radical, you are fundamentalist, you are a bad Hindu, you practice bad Hindutva.
Um, I mean, I think that, of course, there are outfits that use dharma for their own benefit. So that is something that will always be there. And there are people who want to base their campaigns around this just for their own benefits. But that said, I think, like I said, it's part of me. It's not something I'm trying to do for any purpose. is just me being me. And like I said before, what I would just text a friend is all I'm tweeting. And it's just that there's so much going on around it that is leading to so much uproar.
Tell me that moment when you decided it's time I start saying what I feel. When did this happen?
Um, I think that it's quite offensive that so many movies, so many ad films distort historical facts. They don't really show a certain dharma in good light. And these things obviously hurt me because, like I said, religion is personal. And if someone is going to point fingers at it, it is definitely going to hurt someone personally. And that's why people don't take it easily. And I saw that people do it just for publicity because sometimes, if a film needs to be spoken about, you need to weave a controversy around it. And what better way to weave a controversy in India than to hurt sentiments of the Sanatana Dharma? And I saw that this was happening, and it was quite sad that people are not ready to take a stand. Actors are not ready to take a stand on it because they don't want to jeopardize their careers. Everyone wants to please everyone. So I thought, why not just sort of, all I did was voice out something that defends my Sanatana Dharma or promotes what we do. It's nothing that's offensive to any other community, caste, or religion.
But why should one have to defend Sanatana Pratha? Isn't that an
Unfortunately,
irony that in Hindustan, in India, one has to be defensive about a Sanatan practitioner?
so, of course, in the past, it wasn't so because everyone believed in it, and it was something that just came naturally to all of us in our day to day lives. But with the advent of so many different cultures into India, with the Britishers invading us, Mughals invading us, obviously, there were so many different cultures in India, and suddenly the need for us to fight for our own dharma came into play. And I think that is, you know, this is a phase where I can see that the entire nation is waking up to this feeling and realizing that you have to stand up for it, otherwise it's going to, we don't know what the future is. It's not about creating fear, it's not about fear mongering, but it's reality, because especially Hinduism is the only non proselytic religion, and the other religions are doing so many different things. There's rice bag conversion, so many things happening just to increase the population of their religion. That's not, none of that we're doing. All we're doing is promoting how good it is for you to believe in it. So, and that is being perceived as defensive and offensive and whatnot.
But do you think you want to do projects where the medium that you are a star in, where you have an audience, you would want to use that proactively?
Yes, films are a huge soft power, and everything that we see in films is something that we subconsciously imbibe. And which is why I said, when I saw that so many movies were distorting facts, and even today we see so many ad films distorting facts, you slowly start dissociating with it, because just in the name of modernization and westernization, people want to look cool. They don't want to follow, oh, today's a festival. Oh, that's okay. I'm not even going to bother praying or whatever. It's just because my grandmom is asking me to do so. So it's kind of that concept that it's cool to not really believe in all of this is coming into play, unfortunately, because of movies and all that subconsciously. And there has to be somebody and to protect it, to tell them, hey, no, this is what it is. This is your culture. It's your identity. If you don't protect it, who else will? So that's what it's
But the
about.
woke is out to cancel people who want to speak such. Are you worried about the woke who are this entire cancel culture?
Unfortunately, the work has its own intention. So unfortunately, that the believing in a certain dharma has been associated with a certain party. So everyone who hates that certain party has become anti this dharma. So it is all in personal interest. It's all in their own vested interests, I could say.
Okay, my final two questions have to be of somebody who we lost from the Kannada and the South film scenario, Puneeth. And it was quite shocking what happened with Puneeth Rajkumar.
Right.
Your thoughts, your associate, have you worked with him, interacted? Was he a friend?
I have worked with his brother, and of course, Puneeth sir was part of so many events because he was one of the most important people that we have in the film industry in Canada. But I think one thing that I really observed with Puneet sir's demise is how people were not really talking about his stature as a superstar, his movies. What was really being spoken about is how much social work he was doing without even telling anyone, which all came into light in the last 10 days after he died. It was, we were all taken aback with the kind of help he's done, the kind of seva he's done. And I think that is what has given him all these fans, the 35 lakh people that went to visit him on that one day. I think it's historic. And how each person remembers him for his humble nature, his warm smile. It's really beyond. I think he's not really just a superstar now. He was beyond everything. He was more of a demigod for his fans and all of us as well. And people who have not met him feel like he's family, and that's the kind of warmth that he created. So definitely a
Yeah.
huge loss to Kannada's. It's not only just to the film industry. He was a cultural icon. He wasn't just a film star. So much to it.
True, and something which our Vedic scriptures also teach us, that you must always
Right.
give more than what you get, because you'll always get more then, and that
Yes.
somewhere ties back with what Puneeth Rajkumar left
Yeah.
behind as a legacy that people would remember, not as a superstar, but also somebody who did something for society.
Absolutely. I think all of us, that's the only way we can, that's the best way to remember him. I remember saying this, Samvid, to just probably try and do baby steps and see how much seva we can do in our limits.
Pranitha, our time has come short today, but it's been wonderful speaking with you. I don't know how somebody missed out our last conversation. We're going to be engaging more soon. I wish you all the very best. Wonderful speaking with you.
Sorry, you're breaking. I don't know if I'm.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
this is better.
I said, Pranitha, we're going to keep the conversation today a little short,
Right.
but it's been fantastic speaking with you. Wonderful. Something tells me this is only the first of many more such engagements, and we'd like you to speak out a little more, express yourself, say what you feel, because that's what
Lovely
people
being here,
want.
Anand. Thank you. Lovely being here, Anand. And thank you, CNN News 18. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pranitha.